musical intro. Thank you very much for that. Good evening, good grown-up storytime people. Now, this is a very special moment for me because actually about a year and a half ago, I came here on what is, by all accords, a really bad date. It's okay, it's okay. No, it was mutual, And here I am, reading for all of you. Yeah! Appropriately titled, Dating Profile, Draft Number 2. I think I'm gonna be alone forever. And not because I want to or because of fate, but just because I'm lazy. The work of actually caring about someone new and then somehow incorporating them into my life just seems like such a huge pain in the ass. It makes it hard to visualize a future where I can actually meet somebody and have a lasting relationship. I'd like to. I'm on OkCupid and Tinder and Bumble, so clearly I'm looking for something. And I've even hooked up with a few girls off those apps, but nothing solid or lasting has come from it. I think the problem is that I just want something easy, and dating is so much work. Although, if I'm being completely honest, the hardest thing for me about dating is that I'm still in love with my ex. I end up comparing every other girl to her. It's not healthy. Why do we do that? It's so toxic. There are so many other girls out there that I could be building something with, but I'm hung up on this one girl who doesn't love me, doesn't want to touch me, isn't interested in me at all anymore, and has been sleeping with some dude who she met on OkCupid. She told me that he works for an investment bank. Why would she tell me that, if not trying to make me jealous? So she says that we're supposed to be friends now, and that I have no room to talk since I slept with this one girl from Tinder and jizzed in her eye. Which is true, I did that. So dating is hard is what I'm saying. Meeting people is hard. Putting yourself out there is scary. One thing that actually makes it even a little harder for me is the fact that we still live together. Me and the ex. And we're only 2 months into a renewal on our lease. So we're gonna be writing this out for the next year. It's such a good deal though, $1,100 for a 2-bedroom in the Montrose. But it's probably not a very healthy living arrangement, emotionally speaking. She started hiding her underwear from me. See, when we were together, I told her how much I enjoyed smelling her dirty underwear, and she was cool with it. She pretty much let me do whatever I wanted with them. One morning, I told her that I wanted to jizz in her underwear before she left for work and for her to just wear them around all day. And she did. And it was awesome. But now, since she knows I have this underwear fetish, she's taken to hiding them. All of them. Even the clean ones. And it's not like I've scoured her room looking for her underwear. I've just sifted through the hamper a few times and noticed there weren't any dirty ones. And also looked in her dresser, and there weren't any clean ones in there either. But that's as far as I went. I didn't go looking in the closet, although I think I have a pretty good idea of where they might be, hidden in the closet, but I haven't checked. So yeah, online dating is tough. It's hard to meet someone without a little baggage. I don't know how my ex met this investment banker asshole. It was the first date she went on. And he's the only guy she's ever online dated. I mean, out of all the bottom-feeding sleaze around that app, she managed to land a rich whale on her first goddamn cast. The best I've done so far is the Jizz Eye girl. And we only went on 3 dates. I was extra charming on that 3rd date because I took a half of Adderall beforehand. I think that's why she ended up sleeping with me. We did it on the couch, without a condom, per her request. And when I pulled out to jizz on her stomach, it shot out with such a force that it went all the way up and hit her in the eye. Needless to say, I was pretty impressed with myself. She said she was impressed too. We high-fived afterward. But after that night, she stopped returning my messages. And that's the best I've ever done online. That's the pinnacle for me. And I've been at it for over a year. But my ex goes on 1 date and ends up with Jared fucking Kushner. He's taking her to some resort in Mexico in a couple weeks. Piece of shit. I told her about the Jizz Eye girl, mostly to try and make her jealous. But she didn't really care. It's just ammunition for her, I guess. I did lie to her about the timing of it, though. I told her it had happened recently, when actually it was last year. That's because we were still technically together when I hooked up with Jizz Eye. But my girlfriend and I hadn't had sex in like 6 months, so I feel like it was pretty well justified. I mean, our apartment has 2 bedrooms, for Christ's sake. She wouldn't even sleep in the same bed with me, even when things were good, even after I got a CPAP machine. That's why I've been online dating for over a year, even though we've only technically been broken up for 4 months. And if you're counting, yes, that means we were broken up already when we renewed our lease 2 months ago. But it's that good of a deal. And you know, as hard as online dating is, I do think that I could meet somebody if I was willing to make space for them in my life. But that's hard and scary, and I don't want to do that for just anyone. I've seen enough desperation on those apps to know that I could probably be in a relationship with somebody if I just lowered my expectations a bit, but then I'd be doing all this work of making space for them in my life, and it would be for someone who I'm not even that into. Why would I do that? I just wish me and my girlfriend could get back together the way things were. Even when it was bad, it was easier than this dating bullshit. All I'm saying is that meeting people is hard. And it takes so much time and emotional energy that I just don't know if I'll ever be able to meet anyone else. But then jerking off alone all the time gets really old too. And I know I could go to a prostitute. I've thought about it, but I think it would make me feel really guilty. I might be a little different if I could afford one of those expensive escort types, but I'm on more of a human trafficking budget. So it just seems wrong. It just seems wrong. Plus, what kind of man would I be if I couldn't occasionally convince a girl to sleep with me? It seems a lot more exciting that way. I bet that investment banker has paid for some high-priced prostitutes before. Where he works, it's probably company policy to at least murder at least one hooker to make a junior partner or something. So what I'm saying is that I'll probably be alone forever. Even though I also think I could probably find someone who was beneath my standards if I got really desperate. But I just don't know if I'm ready for that. I just hope that one day I meet someone who can live up to my unrealistically narrow expectations. So here's what I want. I want them to be gorgeous, obviously. I want them to be strong-willed, but submissive in bed. Emotionally available, but not clingy. And funny, but not as funny as me. That's all I want. And she doesn't even have to be a biological girl. I would date a trans girl if she was all those things. Post-op, ideally. I almost went on a date with a girl on Tinder who I thought was trans. It Turned out she wasn't, and we never really went out. But I would have gone out with her, even when I thought she was. That's just how cool and open-minded I am, ladies. God bless America.